apart from our regular presentation, today you're also going to see a couple of training sessions, so you get to observe how we prepare the animals for presentations like this. Before I start, just a very important reminder, we are going to have animals coming in from different areas of this amphitheater, so please do me a favor and try to remain in your seats, and most importantly, should any of the animals come close to you, please do not be tempted to reach out and touch them because they only recognize their own trainers, alright? Now, the rainforests of the world are home to a fascinating array of creatures, gigantic trees, colorful birds, and also mysterious reptiles. Why then does the rainforest need to fight back? Well, unfortunately, it's one of the most endangered habitats on Earth, and it is also home to more than 50% of the world's plant and animal species. Now, without further ado, we're going to travel to South America, not just home to the turkey vulture you just met, but also to a peculiar animal that has the snout of a pig, the tail of a raccoon, and can also climb trees like a monkey. Now, if you're wondering what animal I'm talking about, focus your eyes right behind me on stage as we're just about ready to meet our pair of brown-nosed coati. They go by the names of Sugar and Patches. Now, we hid a little bit of food for them earlier on, so right now the task is to use the sense of smell to sniff out for where the food is hidden, and use either the long, slender, narrow snout or the long, sharp claws to help them open those logs to get to the food inside. Protein bunnies are omnivores, so they consume fruits, insects, and small animals like rodents and occasional bird's egg. Their snout is so flexible it can bend in all directions, pretty similar to an elephant's trunk. And this is the snout is the number one sense that they use when they are looking for their food. Okay, so the boys have pretty much gotten all the food. That means we are going to continue with South America, but this time we are going to try to catch up with a small species of primate that is native to Colombia. And these guys are free-ranging, which means 50-50 kind of thing, because like I said, they're free-ranging. Now what that means is that they spend most of their day roaming around the trees in this part of the zoo. So this sound is to call them over to join us for the presentation. But if it doesn't work, we're going to leave them be, and maybe, if you guys are lucky, we'll spot them later on. For now, it looks like maybe not. Yes? No, they're not joining us. So maybe they will join us later. For now, we're going to travel to a small, beautiful island called Madagascar, where you can find a form of primate that's called a prosimian. And these guys are going to be very familiar to all of you. They're one of the stars of the movie Madagascar, and you probably know them for a song that goes something like this.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it.
And it's not King Julian, it's Bibi, our ring-tailed neighbor. Okay, some of you guys might not be able to spot him yet. He's right up there. Hopefully he'll join us very soon. The ring-tailed lemurs, they're extremely social animals, and they communicate a lot using their sense of smell. When they move in a group, they will also hold their tail up in the air like a flag to ensure that the whole group stays together. Now, this is one of the training sessions that I mentioned to you earlier. Bibi is actually going to be heading into the amphitheater a little bit closer to some of you guys. So as I was saying earlier, please do me a favor and remain in your seats, okay? Well, let's talk about a couple of the training tools that we use with the animals. So one thing that we very commonly use is called a whistle. The whistle is a bridge. It's basically a signal from us to the animal that they're doing something correct. So usually we pair the sound of the whistle to a food reward. So they associate it with something positive. Now another common tool that we use in training is something called a target. Now the target, basically the animals, okay, so that orange stick that you see Prem is holding on to, that is called the target. So basically, when she points the target somewhere, she's telling Bibi that's where she wants him to go. Like, just like that, target here, like that, that's our way of communicating with the animal and telling them to jump. But of course, we work on a food reward system, which means that at the end of the day, the animal is still the boss, and they make the choice whether they want to join us for our presentation. So if you focus your eyes up on stage, SB's doing a couple of jumps for us. Alright. SB, by the way, is Bibi's father. So now we're going to show you guys something really cool as well. Earlier on, I said the lemurs communicate with a sense of smell. In fact, they do something called stick fighting. So when males have an argument, what they will do is rub their tail on the scent glands, which are located on their wrists as well as on their shoulders. And then they will take their tail and wave it at their opponent, and basically the smellier lemur wins the argument. Okay, so you can see SB doing it up on stage. And now it will be Bibi's turn. Now this is, by the way, this is something that we train the lemurs to do, but we did teach them to do this behavior on a hand signal. Alright, if he's ready, he does hand signal. Okay, he does the behavior. And then he gets reinforced with a food reward. Lemurs are also unfortunately listed as endangered in the wild due to the illegal animal trade as well as the loss of the natural habitat. So if you come across any conservation efforts to help this beautiful species, please lend a helping hand. Now if you guys are interested in training, these are things that you can also practice at home. The principles are exactly the same. If you have any pets, you can train your pets. If you don't have pets, it's okay because you can also train your husband or your children. Actually, training principles apply across the board to anything or anybody. My husband is actually still under training. He's very stubborn. Okay, so the lemurs are making their way back. That means it's time for us to travel to the waterways of Southeast Asia to catch up with a species of animal that can actually be found right here in Singapore. Now, you guys might have noticed that as we talked about blue bin on stage early on, that's because our recycling ambassador is ready to do a little bit of cleaning up. Which is a very important lesson. So joining us, we have Will making a lot of noise and training her. Okay, there you go. And very busy today. And you know what? As cute as this is, the important lesson here is that if we can train an organ to clean up, we can teach ourselves as well and put in the effort to make our world a cleaner and greener place to live in. So let's give Chris and Shaka a round of applause. Let's take a trip out. It's Chiku, and she's going to be flying across the amphitheater today. If any of you have a slow motion feature on your camera, this is an excellent time to use it. You'll notice that she's got a very distinctive way of flying. What she will do is to flap the wings 3 times before gliding across the amphitheater. You know, this species was once believed to be extinct in Singapore, but in the early 1990s, it started to reappear on our island. So the Drone Park and the National Parks Board collaborated on breeding programs to help improve their numbers, and currently they are thriving here on our island. In fact, if you do happen to see them in the wild, you know they usually live in pairs or in small family groups because they are monogamous, meaning that they tend to pair up and mate for life. Now you know, throw them up for Chiku to catch. Okay, if I'm ready, Chiku ready on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright, in this case, you guys missed that. We're going to do it one more time, alright? Chiku ready on the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. Okay, this is the friend that I'm talking about. This is Pinon, and Pinon is a Texas red snake native to parts of America, but more specifically native to Texas. When it comes to snakes, there are 2 very common misconceptions. People tend to think of snakes as being wet and slimy because of the light glistening of their scales. In actual fact, all snakes are smooth and dry. If you want an idea of how a snake feels, what you can do is to actually have a feel of your own fingernails. Did you know that the individual scales of a snake are made of keratin, the same substance as our hair and fingernails, and actually feels very similar? Secondly, people always ask us if the snake is poisonous. Now bear in mind, snakes cannot be poisonous, they can only be venomous. But only 10% of all snake species in the world are venomous. So this guy right here is a constrictor, meaning how he will kill his prey is simply to strike coil around his prey, squeeze it to death, and then eventually swallow his prey whole. Bear in mind, a snake can only consume prey that is pretty much as thick as the thickest part of their body. So a snake of this size will only consume a small mouse and will not pose a serious threat to anyone sitting here today, okay? Now on that note, I'm going to move away from talking about udon right here because we've got one last training session taking place behind me on stage, and also a very, very interesting species of animal. We believe that this is the only presentation in the world where you will see this specific species of animal for a couple of reasons. Firstly, they're very shy, both in the wild as well as in captivity. They also happen to be primarily nocturnal, meaning that they are most active at night. So joining us right on the stage, that's John and Marshall, our pair of greater hawk badgers. Now the greater hawk badgers are in the mustelid family, so their closest relatives are weasels, otters, and skunks. fruits, insects,
Yeah.
and small animals.
I reckon
Although not very
badger.
much is known about the long badger, but one of the things that we definitely know is that they're currently listed as endangered in the wild due to the loss of their natural habitat. Because, of course, of mankind, we're responsible for pollution, deforestation, global warming, and also the illegal animal trade. So now it's time for us to take a stand, time to Well, ladies and gentlemen, there's a reason why we hold presentations like this. And it's a very simple reason. We love animals. We would like to believe that you are here today because you love animals as well. So what if I told you that many of the animals that you have seen today are fighting a losing battle in the wild because of us men? What if I told you that every single year tens and thousands of animals die because of the illegal pet trade? And to be sold made into medicine that doesn't even work.
Flamingos are bigger and they have
To be turned
longer
into
necks.
medicine. Many people fail to realize that while we are the planet's biggest threat, we are also its pollutant. So you know what? I think it's about time we all do our part to respect and protect the rainforest and all the animals that live within it.
Not pelican. Waterfall canyon.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, we've come to the end of Rainforest Strikes Back, proudly brought to you by Capital Land.